Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, here we go. Second hour, kick it off on this Tuesday morning. What's up, everybody? Thanks for making us a part of your start here. Depending on where you are listening to us from, we appreciate it. Let's do a little roll call. What are you doing? Where are you at on this Tuesday morning? All right, hit me up with a quick text and such. Or hit us up on the video stream if you're tuning in on the video stream. We spent the first hour talking some football as we are just a couple days away from the NFL draft. What would you ask Goody today in his pre-draft presser? All right, make it a good one. Send it on over. So we got that. We're going to talk Badgers with RJ coming up a little over an hour from now, about 8:20 here this morning. So John Blackwell posted up a photo of him visiting Duke. Odds apparently now favoring that he's going to play at Duke. To which I ask, do you fault him? Can't be really mad at him, right? Can't really. We're going to talk some Brewers here in just a little bit, but also coming up at 9 o'clock, we'll talk with Hunter Baumgart, Brewers reporter for Fox Sports, 920 Wisconsin. So we'll get his insight and expertise surrounding the Brew Crew as they get set to begin a 3-game series against the Detroit Tigers starting tonight. First pitch, 5:40. You can catch it right here on the radio dials, 105.1 FM and 790 AM. Let's just, before we get to some Brewers chat, quick update on the Bucks search for a new head coach. It sure seems like that Taylor Jenkins is the leading candidate, or maybe number one on the priority list for the Milwaukee Bucks. According to The Athletic, Eric Name and Sam Amick, the Bucks have registered serious interest in Taylor Jenkins to be their next head coach, league sources tell The Athletic. Team owners Wes Edens, Jimmy Haslam, and general manager John Horst made their way to Memphis, where the former Grizzlies head coach still resides with his family, early last week to discuss their head coach opening and a vision for the future with Jenkins in Milwaukee. There is no deal in place and contract figures have not been discussed. The two sides, though, are expected to meet again soon to further discuss the opening. It's also noted, though, that before taking, because Jenkins is widely considered a top candidate in the current coaching market, it remains unclear whether he will prioritize the Bucks opening or maybe be patient. And they use the Magic as an example, the Orlando Magic as an example. So, but yeah. It probably no big surprise that he's, from all accounts and from all the reports and all the rumors out there, that he is priority number one, that he's target number one. Now, is this to maybe help Giannis, keep him? Guy that was an assistant with the Bucks under Mike Budenholzer, obviously with Giannis there too. An experienced coach, a coach that took Memphis to the postseason, got Memphis up, in the Western Conference standings in that. I don't know if this would help with a Ja Morant potential reunion. I know that's kind of been thrown out there. Remember, Ja Morant was rumored as a Bucks target by the trade deadline in that. I don't know if that would be something. I couldn't tell you. Obviously, the guy's got experience with him and such. But if it's Taylor Jenkins as the head coach, I'd be on board with it. I'd be good with that. But I don't fault Taylor Jenkins if he kind of wants to be a little patient here too. Now, if he gets a commitment right away, let's say, hey, because if I'm Taylor Jenkins, I'm asking the straight up question, is Giannis going to be on my team? And if the answer is we don't know or no, then I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see if maybe that Orlando opening comes up or maybe another opening and exploring my options. If he gets a commitment, and he might have to play a little trust game at that, but if he gets the commitment, said, yeah, Giannis is going to be here for the foreseeable. Maybe the foreseeable part isn't this. Right? Yeah, Giannis is going to sign an extension, et cetera. He gets a commitment from Giannis himself. Then I think, yeah, that's definitely an attractive opening. But it's completely different for a guy like Taylor Jenkins, who is going to have options. Does he want to coach a Bucks team that does have Giannis, or does he want to coach a Bucks team that doesn't have Giannis, and they may be in a little bit of a rebuild type mode? I think that's question number one. And I don't fault Jenkins for that. That's got to be his main question. Obviously, I think he's a little bit familiar with Wes Edens. He's a little bit familiar with the Bucks. It's been a hot minute. I mean, we're almost talking about 10 years since he was an assistant for 1 year under Mike Budenholzer there. But obviously, he's got a little bit with Wes Edens and such. Probably unfamiliar with Haslam. But, I mean, if you put your two owners and your GM on a plane and they travel to Memphis to talk to him, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that that's their number one pick. That's their number one option. That's the guy that they are looking at. And I'd be good with it. I'd be good with that hire. I'd like it. But I don't fault him for if he wants to be patient. And I don't fault the Bucks for trying to maybe jump on this thing right away before other openings are out there. You want to jump on the number one target. You want to jump on your number one choice. Try to lock it up. Try to get it done. I honestly feel like the ball is probably in Taylor Jenkins' court. If he picked up the phone today and said, I want to be the coach of the Bucks, let's get this thing done, I feel like it'd probably get done. But the smart approach is to preach some patience here. Choose the best option. Choose your best option to win. I don't think it's necessarily all about the money factor. I think a lot of it is going to be dependent on what he feels like is the best situation to win. And if he feels like that's not the Bucks, then yeah, he may be looking at if, again, in case Orlando opens up. Giannis also went to social media, went to Instagram yesterday. So it's like every little day we're getting a little bit of info, a little bit of talking stuff from one Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. But it's got anything that Giannis posts, any little word that Giannis says. So like Giannis in an interview, he was doing with where was it? Oh, he was asked about where he would spend a vacation in an ideal situation. Giannis said, Miami. I think L.A. is superficial. I don't like L.A. So then everybody's running with that, saying, see, Giannis doesn't want to go to the Lakers, doesn't want to go to the Clippers. Take them out of the running. So Lakers fans are upset. Clipper, whatever. It's like, geez Louise. But that's the world we live in. Anyways, Giannis on Instagram last night posting up year 13, check mark emoji, book emoji. Year 13 in the books. This has been one of the toughest seasons of my career, but as they say, like a phoenix from the ashes, I'll rise. To the city of Milwaukee, my city, capitalizes my. Thank you for the unwavering love and support. So then it's got everybody saying, does that mean he's going to be loyal? And that's means he wants to stay in Milwaukee, and he's going to stay in Milwaukee because he said, my city, MY, all capitalized? What does it mean? What does it mean? What's he trying to say? Is he trying to say that he wants to stay? There's going to be more of this. So buckle up, peeps. All right. All right, let's take a quick break and let's talk some baseball, okay? We'll talk a little Brewers to preview this upcoming series. Game 1 between the Tigers tonight. Kyle Harrison on the mound for the Crew. Let's preview it. Coming up after these quick words. Looking for that perfect place to kick back this spring and summer? Hey, man, weather's going to be gorgeous today and tomorrow, it sounds like. Well, then you need to head on over to the VFW Post 305, Eau Claire's go-to spot to relax, to grab a beverage, and to enjoy the moment. Inside, it's a great place to meet up with some friends. But, when the weather warms up, it's all about that patio. With one of the best river views in town, there's no better place to soak up the sunshine, to unwind after work, or to spend a weekend afternoon. Some cold beverages, some great people, and a view you can't beat. That's the VFW Post 305 in Eau Claire, located on Star Avenue, your spot to hang out this season. The Brew Crew back at it tonight, taking on the Detroit Tigers in Detroit. We get Kyle Harrison on the mound here, and actually, there are some Tigers hitters, because of Kyle Harrison spending a little bit time with Boston, that have a little bit of experience going up against Harrison. Not a ton. We're talking like 2 ABs, 2 at-bats. All right, so a little bit. They're a little familiar with him. And on the flip side, you've got Montero going for the Detroit Tigers. So far in 3 games, he is 1-1. Just pitched over a little over 16 innings, 15 strikeouts. He's coming off of a no decision against Kansas City, where he went 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. But before that, he had given up no earned runs against Miami, picking up his lone win, and back on the 5th against the Cardinals, charged with a loss, going 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. So, from a experience standpoint, you got, again, kind of similar to some of the Tigers hitters going up against Harrison. You got some guys with maybe 2, 3, 4 at-bats going up against Montero. You've got Frelick's got 3 career at-bats. He's 2 for 30. Contreras is 1 for 3. Hamilton's 1 for 4. And then Mitchell's 1 for 2 against him. Terang, 0 for against him so far this season. So not a ton, and nothing really to probably write home about, I would say. But I'm excited to see Harrison. Both these pitchers, it's going to be their 4th start to this season. And Harrison is coming off of a loss against Washington. Last time we saw him was April 11th. It was one of those games, though, that, in my opinion, doesn't deserve to get charged with a loss. He went 4 1/3, gave up just 2 earned runs, only 1 strikeout. Did have 1 walk in that, too. So you'd like to, and that was, looking at his 2 previous starts, where he had 8 strikeouts against Tampa, 6 against Kansas City, only having 1 against Washington, a little bit down there. But nonetheless, this kid, I think, so far in the first 3 games, first couple games of this season, he's shown why so many people are really excited about the future of this guy, the future going forward as a starter for the Brewers and as a starter in Major League Baseball. Kid's got some nasty stuff. And I think now we're just looking for the consistency part with him. He's probably going to have some ups and downs. Probably going to have, a couple games, a few games this year where it's not going to look the greatest. It's not going to be, all roses and candy and such. But the talent is there. And I know we kind of touched on it a little bit yesterday, but how can you not be really intrigued, really excited to see the future starting staff, the future pitching staff for this Brewers, and be like, man, they potentially could have a 1 through 5 that, hey, I'm not saying it's going to be next year. I'm not saying it's going to be, in 2 years, but I'm just saying, I think we're going to be talking about here in the next couple of years that the Brewers have the best starting rotation in all of Major League Baseball. I'm going to go out there on a limb and say it. I'm not saying it's going to happen now, and I'm not saying it's going to be next year, but I'm just saying that in the near future, we are going to be talking about the Milwaukee Brewers having the best starting rotation in all of Major League Baseball. And it's going to be a combination of the Miz kid, Jacob Mizorowski, Chad Patrick, Harrison. I'm going to put Coleman Crow on there. Logan Henderson. Those probably the top 5-ish. And then you throw a little Robert Gasser in there. We'll see about a Quinn Priester. That's 7 starters right there. And, Brandon Sproat. I didn't even mention him. That's 8. How do you not get intrigued? How do you not get excited about the potential of this thing? And I know we're focused on right now, and I'm trying to focus, 2026 season. Let's go. Let's rock and roll here, okay? But, man, what this team has done, loading up on some youth and some younger starting pitching talent, and odds are a couple of those guys won't be with this team in a couple of years, okay? We know that. That odds are that's going to happen. But when you look at these dudes and when you look at these starters, that's why I'm saying I think in a couple of years, we're going to be talking about the Brewers having the best 1 through 5 starting pitching staff in all of Major League Baseball. The talent is there. The potential is there with this group. Call it a bold prediction. Call it a whatever. That's the ceiling for me. I feel that way. I strongly feel that way. The potential is there. As long as, like, Chris Hook is still there, Jim Henderson, they've got that foundation of developing these pitchers. As long as they continue to do that, and those guys are still a big part of it, man, it's exciting. And the thing is, too, is that a lot of these guys right now, they're getting opportunities now. They're getting that work in now. They're getting a little taste of it. They're getting a little feel for the major leagues. And you look at all those pitchers, right? And they all kind of do something a little bit different. They all bring a little bit something different to the table. Yeah, I truly think we're going to be talking about this in the next couple of years. Brewers starters, 1 through 5, best in Major League Baseball. And that's a credit to the organization. That's a credit to Matt Arnold. And that's a credit to this pitching. They've really hyper-focused on developing pitchers and focus on we talk about, we kind of joke about the pitching lab and such, but that is something that they have really, really kind of hammered in and focused on. And you look at the makeup of Major League Baseball and salaries and contracts and that sort of thing. And it makes sense for the Brewers to really kind of hyper-focus in on that. That's going to be their bread and butter. That's going to be what they want to prioritize. That's going to be, their signature thing is pitching. So, yeah, Harrison back at it tonight for his 4th start. I'm excited to see him continue throughout the season. I'm just glad he didn't have anything more major wrong with him, with that awkward fall and landing with his knee and his wrist and such. So just glad that didn't really affect him too much. So Twins are also going to be back in action tonight. If you're looking at the Major League schedule and you're doing a little scoreboard watching, hopefully not too much. Although, if I'm being real, I'm kind of looking at it too. But because I don't like seeing the Brewers in last place in the division and they're above 500, that's just the NL Central. So, but if you're looking at the schedule here for today, come on, Phillies, take down the Cubbies. All right. And your little losing schneid here. Get it done. Marlins, beat the Cardinals. Tampa, come on. Take down Cincinnati. Okay? Help out the Brew Crew a little bit. Just say. But, MLB.com, you go to it, right on the homepage is the best division in baseball right now is probably not on your bingo card. And it's right. It is incredibly early in the goings here. But every team's got a winning record. Has a division, I was kind of curious about this, so they did answer. Has a division ever finished with every team having a winning record? I think we're getting a little too far ahead of ourselves with this, but I understand asking the question. It says, no. MLB's divisional era goes back to 1969. Since then, there has never been a division where every team finished the season with more wins than losses. What about a record of 500 or better? It says here that has happened. Okay, that has happened twice. There's no case in the divisional era where every team in the division has finished over 500, but there are 2 times where every team in a division has finished at or above 500. It hasn't happened in more than 20 years. The last was the 05 NL East. Braves, Phillies, Mets, Marlins, and Nationals all finished 500 or better. And then you got to go to 1991 in the AL West. Twins, White Sox, Rangers, A's, Mariners, Royals, and Angels all do that. So, again, way, way, way early. So here's an interesting question. It says, how often do teams with records like the Brewers and Cubs make the playoffs? Okay. It says, let's go back to the current central standings and the .571 winning percentage. That's only good for last place as of Monday, yesterday. Does a record like that normally guarantee a team a playoff spot? It says, you bet it does. In the divisional era, 263 different teams have finished the season at .571 or better. Over a 162-game season, that's a 93-win team. Of those 263 teams, 234 have made it. So, again, we got a lot of baseball yet to get to here. So, all right, let's take a quick break. Plenty more to get to, though. I want to hear your Toyson Ford Grind My Gears Tuesdays, your I'm Not Sayings, I'm Just Sayings, and some of your sports confessions. All right, join in on the convo. I want to hear from you. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Grilling season is here, and that also means it's brat season, baby. So swing on into Mike's Star Market and stock up for game day the right way. From fresh and wide variety of flavorful brats, they've got everything you need to fire up the grill and feed the whole crew. Whether you're tailgating or maybe doing some backyard grilling or just catching the game at home, nothing says summer, spring, baseball like brats on the grill. Make every pitch, every inning, and every bite count. That's Mike's Star Market in Eau Claire, your home for brat season. So, a reminder coming up here in less than an hour, we'll catch up with some Badgers with Mr. R.J. Cardinal. John Blackwell yesterday, he posted up on Instagram picture of him in a Duke uniform at Duke. So now odds makers all kind of have it favored that he's gonna play for Duke next year. So he visited UCLA. The one, or I should say a couple teams that he did not visit that I thought was a little surprising since he's from Michigan. At least that's been out there, Michigan State and Michigan. Apparently he hasn't visited or such. So, maybe he doesn't want to go back. Maybe he doesn't want to go back there. Maybe he's like, hey, you guys didn't think or he kind of maybe missed out on me the first time. So no, I'm not going to go. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. So, but we'll talk to RJ and get RJ's thoughts on the 3 new players that are coming to the Badger basketball team that we touched on a little bit yesterday. So, we talked to some Brewers just now, but again, Brewers 5:40 first pitch. Coverage will begin 35 minutes prior on your radio dials tonight as they take on the Tigers. Quick look at the standings again across, the National League Central. The Reds are in first place, 15-8. You've got the Pittsburgh Pirates, 13-9, tied with the Cubs. The Cubs are now on a 6-game winning streak. The Cardinals also 13-9. So Reds alone at the top, 15-8. Pittsburgh, Chicago, St. Louis, 13-9, and the Brewers at 12-9. NL East, you've got the Braves in control so far of that division. They're up 5 games over the next closest opponent, which is the Miami Marlins, who are 11-12. Dodgers, they are 16-6. Padres just 1 game back from them, 15-7, and Arizona 13-9. So don't forget about the Diamondbacks. AL East, it's the Yankees 13-9. Tampa Bay is just 1 game back. Baltimore 2.5 back. Cleveland sitting at top of the AL Central. Tigers just a half game back, though, and then the Minnesota Twins, who will be getting a series against the Mets here They're hoping to extend that losing streak for the Mets, but the Twinnies just one game back. And then the AL West, the Athletics, the only team above 500 in this division, sitting at 12-11. Texas at 500 at 11-11. So that's kind of where things are at in terms of standings in Major League Baseball. So, I have not heard, somebody had texted in just now any latest updates for Jackson Chourio. He did swing. He traveled with the team down to Miami. So he was scheduled to swing and such. So Kurt Hogg actually a couple days ago had posted that Jackson Chourio progressed to taking swings for the first time. I would imagine he's going to be getting a rehab assignment, obviously before he is back and such. But maybe we'll ask Hunter that when we come up in the 9 o'clock hour and that. But yeah, that's the latest that I had seen, that he had traveled with the team in Miami, that he had progressed to taking some swings and such. So I think initially they had said that, or at least they were hoping maybe a middle April return. But right now we're talking about towards the end of April. So, okay, so this was actually from Kurt Hogg a few days ago. Jackson Chourio's estimated return has been bumped back to early May. So early May. All right, so it's going to be a little bit yet here, but they definitely could use him just to get some stability within that line. I know we're putting a lot on the shoulders of this kid, but I mean, come on, if this is going to be a superstar in the making here, and that, I mean, we got to put some of that on his shoulders, right? We just got to. It has to happen. He is supposed to be the guy, the superstar. So just getting stability within that lineup, but also in the outfield too. You bring him in, he's probably your starting left fielder. Garrett Mitchell's going to be in center. You get Sal Frelick there. Lockridge, I think Garrett Mitchell's probably the odd man, or not Garrett Mitchell. Blake Perkins is probably the odd man out. His ABs have been cut severely. I mean, Lockridge has been doing some good things too. So he's you kind of solidify that out there. Jones is going to probably be sent back down, and then just getting guys healthy and back into place. If you could continue to tread that water and keep that winning record in this tough division, and then you start to get your healthy guys back, especially like a Jackson Chourio and a Christian Yelich, and then you throw in a little Andrew Vaughn, so maybe you don't have to play Gary Sanchez at first base and such to get his bat in there. But yeah, just keep treading this water, keep winning series, and then get your guys back here. We're in fine shape. We're in good shape, Brewers fans. Don't freak out if you're looking at the standings and seeing that this team is in last place. Okay? We're okay. We're good. We're fine. Or we will be good. I'm confident in that. I think we are. Especially when we get some guys back. We've been down this road before. This team has been down this road before, too. It's a gritty team. It's a team that battles. Okay? In Murph, I trust. In Murph, we all trust. That should be the mindset. So, but it's a good test coming up with the Tigers here, because I mean, this is a Tigers team that, okay, you can say maybe a little bit of a slower start and such, but I mean, this is a team that's in a win now mode, right? I mean, this is a team that has championship World Series aspirations, and a team that wants to climb back in the standings here too. So, good test for this Brew Crew team. And I just, let's see if they can pass it today or this series. Looking at the future, let me bring this up here. Okay, I want the 20 side. I want to look at the future starters here for the Tigers, because I know the Brewers. I'm just not sure. So Chad Patrick. Okay, we get Miz on for the next one for tomorrow. Do we go up against Skubal at all? Yeah. Okay, so Brewers in the series finale, they do go up against Skubal. Brandon Sproat is scheduled for that game too. So Skubal so far 3-2 in his 5 games with a 2.08 ERA. So I was just curious if we get to avoid him at all, or if the Brewers have to go. I think Flaherty pitched yesterday for the Tigers. So all right, take care of business, go on and win. Just do your thing. Let's take a quick break. We'll wrap up the second hour, and we're already at halftime, believe it or not. Send me your Grind My Gears, brought to you by Toyson Ford, your I'm Not Sayings, but I'm Just Sayings, and your confessions. I'll get to my Toyson Ford Grind My Gears coming up after this quick break. Hey, sometimes accidents happen, but getting your vehicle back to normal does not have to be stressful. And at Superior Auto Body, they specialize in getting your vehicle looking right again after dents, dings, or collisions. And the best part, they handle the insurance process for you, working directly with your provider to make things simple and hassle-free. There's no runaround. There's no confusion, just quality work and a team that's got your back every single step of the way. So get your vehicle back on the road with confidence. Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire, where the job gets done right. And another quick reminder, too, with Superior Auto Body, don't forget, if you're driving by and you're like, man, what's going on at the building? They're just doing a little paint job, all right? Do a little facelift, looking nice and fancy, or looking good, I should say, over there. So they're still open for business, all right? So maybe your vehicle, depending on where you were at that time, maybe you had a little hail damage with some of our early spring storms that we've had, and you need to get that fixed up. Superior Auto Body can help you out with that. Or if you didn't, but maybe keep it in mind for the future, because odds are we're probably going to get a few more storms this spring/summer season. So, and shout out Superior Auto Body, our official Backyard Dreams partners. And don't forget, if you want to help support Backyard Dreams, sign up for the 6th annual Casper Classic going on the first Friday of August. That's kind of our little tradition, right? First Friday of August before high school football season and such. But August 7th at Lake Hallie, 2-person team for just $90. It includes your meal. It includes your 9 holes, your carts, some beverages and such. So spots are filling up fast. So if you want to get your 2-person team in, head to our website and just click on the icon right on there on the home page. So if you are interested in maybe throwing together a prize, raffle prize, or sponsoring a team or sponsoring a hole, reach out and we'll put you in touch with the people that you got to talk to and such. But we appreciate Meyer Construction, Hy-Vee. We appreciate Window World and VFW Post 305, all coming aboard to be Park Ridge, to be some of our sponsors so far for this year's tournament. Who's going to win the belts this year? We got those 3 tee times. So, and nobody's stopping you from playing in a couple tee time slots. All right. Do you want to do a little 7:30 and then a 10 o'clock or a 10 o'clock and a 1 o'clock? Nobody's stopping you from doing that. All right. Others have done it. So, all right. Let's do a little Toyson Ford at Grind My Gears Tuesday. You know what's grinding my gears? So we are getting set for the draft. Okay. Getting set for the NFL draft coming up Thursday and that. And while I appreciate that the NFL has lowered, went from 10 minutes to make a pick to 8 minutes. Cool. We're making progress here. All right. Now I get it. You got some teams that want to play a little chicken. All right. They want to play a little chicken with this thing, and they're going to wait and see if they get a trade offer and, really put it down towards that clock. Okay. I get it. It's strategy. It's strategery and that sort of thing. But what grinds my gears is, okay, once the pick is in, what's taking forever to get to the people up to the stage? This is the thing that bugs me, okay? When we see the little thing across the bottom of the TV, and it says the pick is in, and we're still waiting 10 more minutes for this thing. Just why? Okay, then we got to go to a break, and then we got to wait till they come back after break. As soon as that pick is in, let's go up to the stage and announce that thing, all right? Hand it off to the commissioner. Hand it off to whoever is reading the pick. Let's get this thing going. It should be hustle in, hustle out. You shouldn't have to be finding, I know in the later rounds, they'll have like a player or somebody else announce it. That person should be ready to go. They should be ready at that stage, not in the back somewhere. So you got to find them, ready to go, hand the card, let's go. As soon as that pick is in, you've got like 2-3 minutes to announce it. Not another 10 minutes. Come on. Let's get through this thing. It's not necessarily just the, shortening the amount of time that you have to make picks. It's let's hustle in and hustle out. Get up on the stage and announce that pick, for crying out loud. Especially, when it's your team. It's like, come on now. Come on. Like, I will avoid. I don't want to go tips. That's the other thing that grinds my gears. Don't tip the picks. Especially in a streaming world where it's like a little delayed depending on the streaming service that you're watching or if you're watching live on TV. I remember that during the COVID draft when the Packers were up and we were doing kind of the live with Justice and Brandon and that. They all knew the pick before I did because the thing I was watching on was a streaming thing. I can't remember what one it was, but it was behind. Don't tip picks. That's why I don't go on Twitter. And I turn my phone off. I don't turn it off. I put it on silent because I don't want anybody texting me. I don't want anybody sending me messages. Don't tip the pick for me. Okay? I want instant raw reaction. I want to be surprised. I want to be disappointed. I want to be sad. I want to be happy. Whatever. Don't tip the pick. Okay? Just don't. But that's the thing that every year with the draft, if the pick is in, just announce it. We don't need to wait another 10, 15 minutes for Roger to get up there and egg on the crowd to sit there and say, "Come on, boo me louder." We don't need that. Just announce it, okay? Give him the card, get up there, get the thing announced. Move on to the next pick. All right? Efficiency. Let's practice it a little bit more. We'll talk some more NFL draft in the first hour in case you missed any of our chit-chat with it. Goody. So we've really talked a lot about potential prospects, potential picks, potential position groups, where they should address, what the Packers should address, this, that, the other thing. But the person that we really haven't talked a whole lot about is Brian Gutekunst. He's got to do a contract. He's not on the hot seat. And yes, it is accurate. We can say this every single year for every draft for every team. It is a very important draft. This GM is under pressure and that sort of thing. I feel like it's a little bit of a different pressure for Goody. And I think this is an incredibly important draft because the window is now. You don't have a first-round pick. And I think maybe you alter the approach a little bit with your draft to find players right now that could contribute day one. Not 2 years from now, not an eventual starter. Guys that are going to help you right now. So we'll hit that up coming up a little bit later on. We've got Badger Talk with RJ in about 20-ish minutes. So we'll talk some Badger hoops with him. And then Hunter Baumgartner will join us at 9 o'clock as we get back to some more Brewers talk as well. So, but send me your Toys to Ford Grind My Gears Tuesdays, your I'm Not Saying, but I'm Just Saying, and some confessions. I got to get to my sports confession a little bit later on here, too. It's a Feel Better Tuesday. You're grinding your gears. You're getting it off your chest. You're confessing some sports sins. You're feeling better. We're all about a Feel Better Tuesday here on this program. So share it with us here. We're not here to judge too much. We're here to make you feel a little better. So I'll get to my sports confession coming up a little bit later on here. Shot clock's going to cut me off, so we got some news updates. It's halftime, and then we'll kick off the third quarter, the third hour, in just a couple minutes. We'll get to some Badger chat with RJ and get his thoughts on the three new players from the transfer portal for this Badger men's basketball team. I like them, but again, we'll see how it all pans out. All right, we'll be back in just a couple minutes.